Have you ever felt it, that invisible thread tugging at your soul, connecting you to something beyond what the eyes can see, in the heart of the wild and mysterious Congo Basin, where every leaf and every stream carries the weight of ancient stories? A fateful morning changed Anya's life forever. She was no stranger to the jungle. A seasoned ranger, experienced, tough, and hardened by years in the field. But on that day, the jungle gave her a challenge she had never dared to imagine. In the eerie silence of the ancient forest, where towering trees whispered secrets of time, Anya found herself suddenly thrust into a confrontation of life or death. A colossal, primal shadow loomed before her, ready to consume her whole, her breath caught in her throat. Every instinct screamed this was the end, but then, when hope was slipping away, something shattered the silence. A roar.Fierce. Earthshaking. Ancient, but it wasn't a threat. It wasn't a warning. It was something else. A call of destiny. A wild symphony that stirred something deep inside her. A sound that didn't just echo through the jungle, it echoed through time. Was it just the voice of the wild? Or was it a promise kept, an invisible bond formed long ago, now returning to decide this one fateful moment? And in that fragile space between life and death, between past and present, there were no words, just a roar, unforgettable. Powerful. Resonant. The roar of a guardian. A debt waiting to be repaid. Years ago, in that very forest, there had been another moment. Another life on the edge. Anya was just starting her career then, a rookie ranger, eager and idealistic. That's when she found it. A tiny, severely injured creature, abandoned by fate. A baby gorilla, barely clinging to life, caught in a cruel snare near the sanctuary's edge. Its mother was gone, almost certainly the victim of poachers. The baby screamed and fought, bleeding, broken, terrified. So many of Anya's colleagues said it wasn't worth it. The forest was too vast, resources too limited, rules too strict. Conservation sometimes demanded hard choices, they said. Focus on the population, not the individual. But Anya couldn't walk away, not when she looked into its eyes. There, in those frightened eyes, she didn't see a lost cause. She saw life, she saw pain, and hope, and a desperate will to survive. So she made a choice. With steady hands and a determined heart, she freed the baby from the snare, cradled it in her arms, and brought it back to their makeshift rescue station. For 3 weeks, Anya gave it everything she had. She cleaned every wound, monitored every fever, fed it, comforted it, whispered to it. She gave it hope. She gave it a name, Congo, strong heart in the local language. A name that held all the belief she had in that tiny, fragile soul. And day by day, Congo fought his way back. He began to eat again. His wounds healed. The light returned to his eyes, and then the day came. He was strong enough to go home. Anya carried him deep into the forest, to a safe area far from poachers and danger. She set him down gently on the ground, heart full and heavy. Congo didn't cry. He didn't panic. He just looked at her. And in that look, there were no words, no sounds. Just something eternal. Gratitude. A silent promise passed between a human and a wild creature. Congo stared at her, as if memorizing every detail of her face. Then, without a sound, he turned and disappeared into the green, blending into the wild he was born to rule. Have you ever had an animal look at you that way? As if it knows everything you've done for it. It's a feeling you never forget. Years passed. Congo grew up, deep in the forest. Strong. Free. Wild. And Anya, she never stopped working. Never stopped protecting. But deep down, she always wondered, would he remember? And on that fateful morning, when death loomed in the jungle, she got her answer. Sometimes, in dreams, or in the quiet moments of the night, Anya would still see it. The image of that small ape curled up in her lap, warm and peaceful. A memory that never truly left her. What Anya didn't know was that the seed of kindness she had planted all those years ago had grown. It had become something powerful. Something alive. A mighty tree. A debt of gratitude, waiting to be repaid. Then came the sign. A cryptic signal. A familiar name. And a journey back into the heart of a jungle that never truly forgets. One day, the Congo Conservation Center picked up a strange GPS signal. It was coming from a lone adult gorilla. The tracking device it carried was from an old conservation project, one that had been shut down years ago. But this signal was different. The gorilla wasn't moving with a group. It was alone. Quietly making its way toward the forest edge, toward the exact area where Congo's old territory had once been. The very place where Anya had once found a broken, bleeding baby gorilla. The device showed a name, K27. That name hit Anya like lightning, her heart skipped a beat. There was something about it, something familiar. Something connected. Could it be a coincidence? Or could it be Cumber? There was no way to be sure. But even through her doubt, something deep inside her stirred. A strong intuition. A pull she couldn't ignore. Anya volunteered, she had to go, she had to see for herself. The forest in June was humid, wrapped in mist. The thick scent of damp earth and rotting leaves hung in the air. Anya moved carefully through layers of fallen leaves, her boots brushing against the soft forest floor. In her hand was an old GPS device. Its screen blinked red, tracking the signal from K27. Her focus was absolute. Her eyes locked on the screen. Every step was deliberate. Careful then, as the afternoon sun pierced the dense canopy and lit a small, clear patch of ground, she stopped. Something felt wrong. Too quiet. No birds. No insects. Just an eerie, suffocating stillness. She bent down and touched the damp earth. A long, winding trail was pressed into the soil, as if something had just slithered through. A chill ran up her spine. Before she could think, before she could even react, a powerful force exploded from the left. It hit her like a freight train. A giant African rock python, over 6 meters long, burst from the underbrush and coiled around her like living steel cables. In an instant, it slammed her to the ground. Anya reached for the dagger at her hip, but the python was faster. It wrapped around her chest, tightening with terrifying strength. Her breath vanished, the light around her dimmed. The world began to spin. Her heart pounded, then faltered. She didn't know she had stumbled into the snake's ambush site, a hunting ground it had stalked for days. In the python's cold, reptilian eyes, Anya wasn't a ranger, she was just prey. As death crept closer, Anya screamed, but her cry dissolved into the heavy silence of the jungle. Would this be the end? Would she simply vanish, another forgotten life in the coils of a monstrous creature? Then, it happened. A roar. It came from deep within the forest, tearing through the silence like thunder. It wasn't the roar of a predator. It was something else entirely. It was power, anger, and unmistakable protection. Leaves flew like confetti in a storm. Birds scattered, panicked, filling the sky. The ground beneath her began to tremble. From the opposite thicket, a massive shadow burst through the foliage. It was Cumber, the silverback gorilla, grown, powerful, majestic. Nearly 200 kilograms of raw muscle. His eyes burned with fury, but beneath the rage, there was recognition. A memory. A connection. A bond that had never faded. One that had survived time, distance, and even the divide between species. Cumber roared again, deep and primal. A warning that echoed through the trees. The python hesitated, startled by the sudden arrival of this mighty force, but it didn't let go. It still saw Anya as its prey, but Cumber didn't hesitate. He charged. His massive hands pounded the earth as he thundered forward, kicking up a storm of dust and leaves behind him. Cumber grabbed a large, sturdy tree branch and swung it hard at the python's body. Once. Twice. Then a third time. Each blow landed with force, and finally, the python began to loosen its grip. Cumber roared again, loud, fierce, defiant. He tore the snake's tail from around Anya's leg and stepped forward, planting himself firmly between her and the slithering shadow. The python paused, then, without a sound, retreated. It slid back into the depths of the forest like a ghost, vanishing from sight. Anya lay there, gasping for breath. Her tears mixed with the dirt beneath her, the raw scent of forest earth filling her senses. Her whole body ached, but she was alive. Then, she felt it. A large, hairy hand gently touched her shoulder. It didn't hurt. It wasn't threatening. It was soft. Gentle. A touch filled with concern. She looked up. Cumber was looking down at her. It was no longer the frail, trembling baby ape she had once cradled. No, this was something else entirely. This was a guardian, wild, powerful, and free, but still, he had not forgotten. He had never forgotten who had given him a chance at life. Cumber, she whispered, her lips trembling, part from the pain, part from the overwhelming flood of emotion. The great gorilla nodded, just slightly. A small, subtle gesture, but full of understanding. As if he knew everything she was trying to say. Then, slowly, he raised one massive hand and touched her forehead, just as she had once done for him, all those years ago, when he was weak and burning with fever. No words were spoken, but in